So, this is Mr. Ashman and we're going to do another revision video, this time for Alfie Day's Pointless blog. Loads to discuss on this one, so let's get stuck right in. First of all, I want to discuss media language. So let's think about how Alfie Day's Pointless blog videos are constructed. And they are constructed. And let's think about this. From his early days of just putting a camera in a pretty rubbish place, right in front of a window, it looks like in a bit of a silhouette, very low production values and quite a lot of authenticity in what he put out, compared to now, where in fact we've got quite high production values and he really does have a sense of purpose in everything that he does. And that includes keeping in some mistakes. So you'll often find in Alfie Day's videos, when he makes a mistake, he actually keeps it out, he keeps it in. He keeps it in because it then looks like it's more genuine and he's coming across as being quite approachable. And we see these awkward jump cuts all the time, just like this. And we accept those. We wouldn't accept it in another medium, such as a film or a TV program, but we accept these jump cuts because it's a YouTube video and it's a YouTuber vlogging. And that convention has been accepted by the audience, and YouTubers now use it. They might use it to zoom in on something for more of an effect, or they might use it to put emphasis on something, or they might just use it just to give a bit of variety in what they're doing, or because they want to stop recording and they want to start again, but it then seems seamless because we haven't stopped in our flow of what we're doing. So it just cuts out the bad bits, but some bits are definitely kept in. So that's one of the conventions which are communicated via the media language, which we can take meaning from. We can think, actually, okay, that's been done on purpose because there's been some bad stuff been taken out and there's been some stuff which is funny or some mistakes which have been left in. So that selection process, that editing process becomes abundantly obvious to us as viewers who are watching Alfie Day's Pointless blog. Let's talk some more about the production values. Okay, they've certainly gone up in terms of his logos, his editing, the lighting, the mise en scène. Think about the mise en scène in some of the earlier videos. What should we put in the background of our video? Let's have a sofa, let's have some curtains. We're just in our living room, we're relatable, we're the guy next door. Whereas now, the production values are higher because he's got more money, essentially, and he's in a nice big house, and he can sort of go to nice places in his house and make sure it looks really neat and tidy. And everything in the background, remember, this is media studies, everything's there on purpose. He hasn't just sort of said, oh, I'll just go into a corner of my house and start a video. Everything that you see in the video is there on purpose. So be aware of that as well, that the production choices that he makes is because he's trying to convey a certain representation of himself, which is to be relatable, to be the guy next door, to be the guy that you've known for all these years, for all the YouTube videos that he's made. Consider the shot type that he uses and the shot type that I'm using now. Mainly a medium shot, to be relatable. Imagine that you're talking to the person next to you and having a conversation with them. You kind of see them in medium shot. So that medium shot is really a conversational type of shot used, because you want to feel like you're having a conversation with that person, that is being personal to the viewer. And in his language and what he says, he actually talks about his fans, the YouTubers, the subscribers who are watching his shows. He talks to them directly and he thanks them quite a lot for supporting him, which then as an audience, you then feel valued and you feel part of what he's doing. Especially if you're a big fan, you've been watching his videos for a long time, he does tend to quite a lot sort of hark back to older things that he's done and talk about the journey that he's been on. There's a couple of things there really. Again, it makes you as a fan feel that you're part of that journey and that you've watched it. And it also creates a narrative for himself. So he's almost created his own legacy. He's sort of saying, this is where I came from, this is where I am now. And you guys have been part of that, and thank you. So he's creating his own legacy, his own narrative right in front of your eyes there. And this comes with these silly videos where he involves other YouTubers, okay? Because he needs to sort of be in the mainstream. I'll talk a bit more about that in a minute. He also needs to be part of the zeitgeist. So if he's sort of saying to the subscribers, that this is me, this is where I was, I am part of what's going on YouTube, I'm part of the zeitgeist. And guess what? Not just me, but all these other YouTubers who you guys may or may not watch, I'm going to get them involved, I'm going to do videos about them, So we're kind of fabricating or creating this kind of online community where we're all friends with each other. You can buy into that. You can be part of that online community, be one of our friends, and there's real benefits in that. Some of the benefits are financial. So if other YouTubers are featuring his videos, they are then going to share that, they're going to mention it, and he's then going to get more views on his videos. Some of the highest of his videos, the highest sort of viewed videos, are the ones where he mentions other YouTubers. So it's quite a clever tactic because they're all sharing each other's videos, they're creating an online community which you want to be part of, and they're making more money because of all of it as well. So it's actually quite a clever ploy there to do. And obviously another benefit of that is the benefit of the audience. So the people who are actually watching, the subscribers, they then feel part of what's going on. And in terms of using gratifications theory and the sort of need for social interaction, that kind of satisfies that need, that you feel that you have this group of people who you can go to. And not only can you actually sort of feel part of that, but you can actually contact them directly through social media. Okay, so social media optimization kind of means that all these YouTubers, including Alfie Days, are going to have platforms on the social networks, such as Twitter, such as Instagram. You can contact them directly, and perhaps, you never know, they might give you a shout out in one of their videos. So bringing in a bit of the Clay Shirky's end of audience theory there, where the audience can actually, as active members, can impact what's going to happen in the production of what they're watching. So again, you feel even more invested as an audience member and even more part of what's going on. So as an audience, what other pleasures do we get from watching these videos? Well, essentially, it's a voyeuristic pleasure. So we're seeing somebody in their own private environment, often sort of being quite open and honest, expressing their emotions, and that really is classic voyeurism. We're watching private moments on camera, and it's appealing to us because we're nosy people as an audience. We're quite nosy. We want to kind of see what's behind the scenes of someone's life. There's also an appeal of nostalgia as well. So if you have watched some of his earlier videos, and he sort of mentions back those videos that he's done before, you're going to get quite nostalgic about it, and actually going to sort of reminisce of times gone past. So it's another good appeal for the audience. Let's talk a bit about representation. So how does he represent himself? We've already talked a little bit about the fact that he comes across as being quite authentic, the boy next door, very sort of mild-mannered, very polite, quite he's quite middle class, I guess, in the way that he speaks and the way that he approaches things, and he kind of he's in charge of his own representation on YouTube. He has to sort of self-regulate himself to make sure that he's going to sort of maintain that representation. And in the £1 challenge video that he did, where actually he came across as being not so authentic anymore, not so genuine, a bit above his station, perhaps a bit too celebrity and detached from the audience.
7:05 in the morning. I cannot tell you how much I want a coffee to wake me up this morning. But as you see from the title of this video, and like I'm going to speak to you in a minute about, that can't happen. It can't happen as easily as I'd like it to. Damn, I need something to wake me up. Some ice cold water. Oh, I can't even use our ice because we don't use ice like, oh. Empty glass of water it is today. Oh my gosh. Just realised I can't even use that. I'm going to have to use this tap water instead. Today's going to be far more interesting than what I thought.
He then had to go and sort of repair that damage that he'd done to his own representation, because he wasn't being that authentic anymore, and a lot of YouTubers weren't too happy about it, and a lot of audience members weren't too happy about it either. So well worth checking out that video and the apology video that he did, just to see how he sort of tried to repair the damage that he'd done to his own reputation.
Called Living on £1 for 24 hours. I have no idea how, but at the time of filming the video, if you've watched the 36-minute video, which I've now decided to take down, and I wanted to take down earlier on than what I did, but I didn't want to take it down without having this video go up, because I didn't want people to think that I'm trying to just like hide it away kind of thing. Like, I fully am here, taking the hit, saying, of course, I messed up really, really bad.
But his representation is quite a complex one. It's not hyper-masculine that we're used to seeing in sort of like some big budget action films. It's more metrosexual, you could say. It's more millennial in that he'll go and do a video where he's wearing makeup.
Do I want this on the internet?
You can't, after all this whole video, refuse.
He will show feminized masculinity in putting makeup on and it not being an issue. He's not a drag queen, but he's putting makeup on with Ariana Grande or with Zoella, and in that instance he then sees some feminized masculinity, which is quite a complex representation. So think about what Gauntlet would say about that. He's certainly not a straightforward representation, much more complex. So audiences might be drawn to that complex representation, which is actually a bit more real and relatable to people that we see around us than the sort of hyper-masculine images we might see in the media. So a lot more of a complex representation there. You might even call that an alternative representation or a pluralistic representation if you want to go down that route. And the audiences obviously want to see this because you can tell by the amount of subscribers that he has. Another couple of terms to quickly mention about media language. First of all, intertextuality. He does make reference to other texts that are out there to be part of the mainstream, to be part of the zeitgeist, but also to gain kudos from mentioning those things as well, to gain more subscribers, more viewers, and to gain more money. There's also a sense of synergy he has with other YouTubers where they work together to then get a better reward by sharing each other's views and subscribers basically, and essentially then again gain more money than they would do by themselves. So looking at the industry that he's in, he's actually quite a pioneer, believe it or not, in what he's doing, because yes, there were vloggers before him, but he is one of the vloggers who really brought that career of being a YouTuber to the forefront, because he first of all was so genuine at first and gained a massive amount of followers and has been able to make a massive career out of it, and now he's sort of like a millionaire. So he has been a pioneer of this sort of this vlogger idea. He's also part of something we call the YouTube generation, the generation of people who have smartphones and video everything. And you know, if you see someone sort of in trouble or dying on the ground, you probably video them before you go and help them. That's a terrible thing to do, I know, but this is the kind of the generation we are living in, where people have access to a smartphone and a camera and want to share that for the likes, for the sort of gratification they get from that straight away. So he's sort of pioneered this idea of being a YouTuber and of this YouTube generation. So he is regulated by YouTube, so certain things he can't put on there because YouTube won't allow him to. As I said before, really he has to regulate himself and think about exactly what he's putting into his videos, and if that's going to offend, if it's going to mislead somebody, if that's going to put somebody in harm. Now, there are certain rules he needs to abide by. For instance, he can't promote any products without mentioning the fact that he's been given these or that the company have asked him to promote those products. He's very specific on that actually, and doesn't often sort of get in trouble for that kind of thing. He just kind of puts out these very relatable videos which you could probably do yourself in your own home. And of course you can't avoid talking about the money. He's making a lot of money because there's lots of advertisers want to advertise on his videos because they're getting so many views. And YouTube is kind of like the go-between between the advertisers and the audience, bringing the right advertisers to the right audience and making sure that whatever's advertised on his channel is going to appeal to that particular audience as well, which again is really important. Hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Going to hope to create some more videos for you. If you have any questions or anything, you can email me or you can put a comment below. Thanks very much.